All right. Hello, hello, hello. I hope everybody's doing well. This is Duke Charelle, and I'm actually starting a bit later today because I was out late yesterday, making some additional money, made additional cash, and so, I'm here today, still coming on. Working on some additional things and putting more things together. So we're actually starting to put some of these things together, some of these different skill sets, and starting to work on some of these additional things. Also here, I was going to go over some triad pairs with you before actually going over new jam tracks, and I might take a look at let's see here. That's what King sort of sounds like. I have not actually detuned to that, but I was just curious. This one's interesting. I'm going to have to go over this because this looks like a really cool song. I'm not really actually playing it detuned. I'm just taking a look at it. But it's in drop D, tuned down a full step. So it's really drop C, which is really pretty cool. Which is actually a pretty cool sound. It's got that sort of Hispanic flavor to it. it's really that last line that's right there that gives you a little bit of an issue. Oh, how's it going, Ray? Thank you for joining. It's really this chromatic line that really actually creates the problem there. But other than that, it's not really so far too bad. The speed's a little intense, I guess. Well, 130 beats per minute isn't really that bad. That's really cool right there in terms of a line. Hey, how's it going, all who are hey? Thank you very much for joining. But that's really cool to hear. You know, that's a really cool beginning line to really go over. I'm going to actually work on that because that's a pretty cool track. It's sort of progressive rock. It's King from Staccato. I obviously have not tuned this down, but I have been a huge fan of Staccato for a good while now, and checking out some of these progressive rock players and some of the things that they have been doing, I have found them to be pretty cool in terms of what they do stylistically, you know. Stuff like that's really cool. This says 10, but it's really right here at 8. I'm just transposing this on the spot because, I'm not detuning it or not. I'm just transposing it to the actual key where it would be at in standard. That's 7. And then that 9 is going to be 8. Which is really cool. That's a cool sort of sound that we get to hear out of that. To be able to play that in standard and transpose it on the spot, sort of a difficult thing. But we got some cool things here. A lot of this is sort of hybrid picked too. We get this. Yeah. So I'm going to be starting to add some certain things in there, doing things like that. I'm going to work on some of his stuff just because I can. I think that would actually be pretty cool to do. Work on some stuff like Staccato. It just gives you a bit more control over certain things. But I have a little thing here. I wish there was a way to share the screen to show you what I'm looking at here. I'm going to have to explore that a little more. How hard is it to learn guitar? Okay, so honestly, Too Fast for You 24, to learn guitar, it depends on what you want to do, really. I've been playing music since I was 6 or 7 years old. I started off as a horn player and as a singer and choir. So I was playing clarinet and I was singing. I switched over to bass probably in middle school to play jazz bass and was still playing horns. 2 years into high school is when I switched over to guitar, and it was a bit alien because I was used to playing horns my whole life. A piano, everything is sort of in front of you, and you only have left or right. The guitar, you have 4 directions. I mean, you can go horizontal or vertical, but you can also go diagonal. You can't see that right there, but see, this is horizontal or vertical. That can also go diagonal. Right? Right? So we have to go diagonal down. To make sure that we're doing that, and we try to do it without repeating notes. Right, so we get all of these sounds going any which direction that we can. Hi Moses, hi Joel, hi user. And so by learning all of these here, we have several different ways in which we can travel. See what I mean? I just went up. I went down diagonally and went up diagonally, and I can do the same thing diagonally to go up. So there's a couple of different ways in which we can take it as we're playing. It's really a time thing. If you practice well and you practice the aim to get smooth at what you're playing, it's not too difficult, and you can do stuff like this. Right? No, it's never too late. It is never too late. You can pick up and, how you doing, J. Robert? You can pick up and learn guitar anytime you want. It's not a time limit. There's always time to learn how to play. It's just putting the time in. If you sit down with an instrument and you just put the time in and you start trying to learn how to approach the instrument, and then you develop a system to learn it, it's perfectly easy to learn the guitar. There are people who become amazing guitar players in like 3 years. I had a buddy of mine who went to high school, and he was playing Symphony X and Michelangelo Badio after 2 years, and those are some of the fastest guitar players in the world. If you don't want to get a bad one, I'd go with the Ibanez. Ibanez's are great. They're great at the discount price. They're great to start off with. Hi HGM 420. They're great. They're great to start off with. They're great beginner guitars. They're always set up well. Here, let me spell it for you. And that's what I have right here. Is an Ibanez, and this is a workhorse guitar. I probably played it's a $1,300 guitar. I probably paid like $1,000 for it, brand new, with my discounts. But yeah, you can get an Ibanez, you can get a decent one for about anywhere from 3 to 6, and you can even get their cheaper starter lines, which are around $200 for the same, around the same price. And you know, if I was going to get any beginning guitar, I would get an Ibanez as a beginner, because you could actually play that for several years and take it on stage and play it, and it would be amazing. Um, One of the few things that I would recommend solely as a guitar. Thank you for the flash goal, guys. That I would recommend solely as a guitar to start off with and to work on and to learn from. I would always recommend an Ibanez. They're just that good of instruments, and you're going to have very few problems. They're very, very playable. It's the first instrument I started on, and then I moved to a Stratocaster, then I moved back to an Ibanez, and still have my Stratocaster. I have 2 Ibanezes. I have an 8-string and this. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. Some people want to perform. Some people want to just sing songs and play songs that are awesome for them. I always wanted to just sing the songs that I thought were cool and that I enjoyed, and then I found I liked instrumental music, and then a part of me has always been a performer at heart because I was playing classical music for a long time, and doing sports as well. So I was just like, I should probably, I decided to get back into music, and then my music started becoming successful, and it's like, well, now I have like really, it's like it would be a waste to not do anything with it, because it started becoming successful. So it's all up to what you want to do. Some, Riptide. You know what? Do I remember that song even? I don't even know if I've learned that song actually. Let me see, because I was learning a lot of Joe Satriani and Steve Vai and guys like that. And then I did go over into other styles of music. You're talking about Beartooth? Yeah, I don't think this is too common. Yeah, it's like yeah, it's I can play this. It's not too difficult, I'm looking at some of the music for it. The difference with how my guitar is set up versus how they would play it is they're down tuned. They're in a tuning that's called drop D, and they've tuned down half a step. How do you even learn a song like that from start? Okay, so the beauty of it is hi Kelly Astridge, thank you for joining. The beauty of it is what I'm doing with this channel is I'm doing a bunch of different things. Teaching people how to improvise. Improvising, a lot of my videos that you'll see, it's a lot of me doing a lot of improvisations as I was getting some of this stuff together. But to learn a song like that, you would have to first practice sort of the language of it, which means you would start learning the chords. You don't have to learn a bunch of theory. Theory helps you, but when you're starting, it can sometimes get in the way and be confusing, just because you haven't been able to piece together the instrument. Instead, my recommendation is always start with chords. And so, because you start with chords and you learn them in the sequence, you just follow the sequence and it becomes a pattern. And then you can start to hear the pattern. Eventually, you start learning where every single note is on the instrument just by hearing the chords. It's like a shortcut. I mean, there's no shortcuts in putting your hands on and having hands-on experience. But if you know, say that this is an A major chord right here, right? I know the notes for A major are A, E, here's another A, and C sharp, right? That makes the full chord, right? Once I know that, I find another A. Here's my other A major. Here's my other A major. Here's my other A major with C sharp in the bass. Right? Here's another A major over here. Right? We end up finding out just from learning chords where everything is at. So then it no longer takes thought to think about where the notes are. Right? All the guitars are roughly around the same size. You would definitely want to pick a guitar up and have hands on, because not every guitar feels the same. They're all built the same. They all have. You could have two guitars that are the same style of guitar being built exactly at the same time, and they're going to feel totally different. Really, you want to find out what feels good in your hands. That's what it's all about, and that's going to change over the years. Sometimes you're going to want a guitar that has a thicker neck. Sometimes you're going to want a guitar like this Ibanez that has a thinner neck. If you're a bigger person, you might want to grab something that's like an Ibanez or a Jackson. Fenders are also pretty good, but they have thicker necks. So that's what I would suggest. Hi Rose, hi NY Lost. So that's what you sort of want to do when you're looking for an instrument like that. And then when you're sitting there, you actually want to have the instrument between your legs. So when you take your hands off, it can be like this, balanced. And this is how it's going to be and where it's going to be when you stand up. And then you adjust the strap like that so that the guitar looks just like this when you stand. And that's going to save you like years and years of trouble. This is the classical style, and this is sort of the style that you use when you're playing because it allows you to play fast and without having to stop. Right? So you sort of want to be able to have that sort of ability to move back and forth between the two things, and that makes it a lot easier for you to control the instrument and have a lot more control. Then you can go from every which way to do something. But it's all about, after that, just having a system and learning a system. Now I do have like a sort of system that's sort of built out and that I keep expanding on that helps you learn these things sort of in their cycles. The chord progressions, being able to hear them. Once you practice chords and their key signatures enough, you'll start being able to hear the progression. Once you're able to hear the progression, you can play anything. Then from there, you start applying and playing scales and chords. Now, we do have something that's called tablature that sort of teaches you how to play stuff. You sort of want to be able to do both, though, because tablature is not perfect. Like for example, this right here, I'm telling you what key Riptide is in, just by listening to it and looking at it. I'm looking at the tab right now, but my guitar is not tuned to this actual tuning, So, yeah, man, anytime. So yeah, it's not tuned to this tuning, so I just had to figure it out by ear, knowing exactly where the notes are, which takes seconds. So. Yeah, so let's take a look at some of these things I was going to look at today. We're going to go over some of this. We're looking at polychords for a second here. And so we have these particular polychords. So we're going to look at here. We're going to go over this. So the lower. Looking at these 36 of triad pair groupings. So here's what we call a regular C major. That's our C major, and that's C major 7. Right, which is pretty cool to run through. We can play it normally, we can tap it. go to the next pair, which is a minor at the bottom and a major at the top, and it would sound like this. We call this C minor major 7, where I'm playing a C minor triad. Until I get to the higher register, then I play C major 7. Which is a cool sound. It's more of a jazz sound. Which is pretty cool, right? Then we're going to put a C diminished as the lower, and we're going to put a C major as the upper. So that sounds like... which is a cool sound. Which is actually a sweet sound. Right? That's a really cool sound to have. That's a really cool sound to use. Sort of that jazzy, sort of diminished sound that we can get there. Now these are all chords that we would actually play over a drone, right? So if I put a C major drone on, and like I said, this is a listing of like 36 chord pairs, right? So like you can use this for basically anything, and it's 36 of them. Let me turn this on here. So if I have this here, because now we have the musical knowledge. Hello, Stan Sloveski. Now we have the musical information here, so we can listen to it back as we do this. You know, let's take this diminished over the major again. And let's try not to drown out the drone. what Bernie Harris would be doing with his sound in terms of talking about diminish. We do the same thing here with the next one. The chord C major over C augmented, right? So we get like the C major sound right here. Also get this. Right? Both of those are like really cool. It's a tension sort of sound. You know, we can get C major, C sus 2 on the bottom, which would be this. Which is actually also really cool. So if I put on that musical drone again, So those are some pretty cool things to fool around with. You can do the same thing with the sus4. Which also has its own sound here. And that's just a couple of these, you know. We also need to do sus minor. You know, so let me pull this up for a second. Get this minor drone going, and we can really listen to that at the same time. Yeah. Right? So these are all different types of triad pairs, and I actually have it in all keys. This is a 154-page packet that I have put together. 154 pages that I have put together, and it's in all keys, all 36 rows, showing you what chords to play and what notes they are, and how to start building some of those intervals. So we get some pretty cool stuff that we can do, you know, like the minor on the bottom. And then sus2. Sound, and that's a really nice alien sound right there. So I figured It's 154 pages of just stuff that we're going through, and that we're looking at. So it's going to be a really cool thing to look at from that point on. So uh, now let's go to our jams. Looked like Pat Matrone actually had some jam stuff to check out, so I'm going to check that out real quick. It looks like he has some new things here, and I just love this dude's jam tracks. But this is information that I'm going to be digesting and putting stuff together, and really making some cool things with, and making some cool music with. That's the point of a lot of this, is to put it together and make some cool music. So yeah, this will be the part where we start doing the jam, where I'm going to start jamming. Feel free to share these with your friends. Follow, subscribe. If you're interested in music and you're interested in learning guitar, this is it's going to be pretty much a music, guitar driven channel that we're going to be going over. It's a music channel after all. That's what I'm most interested in, is music. Everything else, can sort of, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, that stuff is not really my bag. But the music stuff is. And so, while I'm getting a lot of invites and popping in and out, they gotta make their decisions. So the music stuff that is where my bag is at, and that's mostly what I'm interested in. And a lot of the other things I'm not really so much interested in. If you guys are interested in music, and you want to hear music, feel free to share with your friends, and help expose the channel. We're going to be doing some pretty cool things. If you're just here to listen to jams, we do jams as well. But that's where my interests lie, is the music portion of stuff and things, and everything else. I'm not really too interested in. So if it's not music related, I'm not interested. So maybe I'll join these guys. I'm not going to join them. I'll just leave them to do what they're doing. Let's take a look at these videos here and enter into Pat Matrone music, and we'll find his videos right here with his latest stuff. We'll do some of these, and then I'll be taking off to do some stuff for the evening. Let's take a look at this. We'll start with this jazz ballad I guess he had 3 days ago. It's a nice track, sort of a spacey track, um, and so, but a very cool track nonetheless. Let's see what else we have in here. He had some other one. He had this emotive ballad, which also looks really cool. I did spend a lot of time bending the guitar. Give me a second. There. All right. What's up, Wisco Chris? Then I'm going to go Fairy Tale after this violin. Oh, I didn't even see this, whoever this was. Who is this? I don't know who this is. I'll follow you. And I'll follow you as well. Too Fast for You. Fairy Tale song. What is Fairy Tale? I don't know what that is. It's a violin song, but I'd have to check that out. I don't think that people realize sometimes we might not be on here. I think that's what she's talking about, is by Sung Ha Jiao, which is something I would have to look at, because I don't know who that is, and I've never heard it before. But I'm definitely going to have to take a look at that. But that's what I'm assuming, that's what this person is talking about. Okay. Let's go to the last jam here that we're going to go over. That jazz track was pretty cool. I'll give it that. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Got some nice stuff out of it. Let's see here. Let's see what else we got inside of these jam tracks while we look at this. Jam tracks for guitar fusion. And we'll check out to see what other cool stuff we have here. I think I added a little reverb to that when yes I did. Yeah, I did add a little reverb to that. That's good. I was trying to add the master, but the reverb worked better. Hello, Tough Aldo boy. Alright, let's see here. I wonder if this Conetta music has some... They have some cool tracks here. Let's go to the videos here. Let's see what I have played and what I haven't. That's sort of smooth jazz. I don't want to smooth jazz it out too much. Let's do this. What is this B minor groove? Let's check this out. I will do more tomorrow. I will do more tomorrow, but I'm going to end it for today, and I'll do a longer, um, longer view tomorrow as well. And hopefully, I'll see some of you guys there. And thank you very much for joining. Bye now.